A legal hold job preserves data in a format that cannot be deleted. Two different types of legal holds can be set up within Search: legal hold for archives and legal hold for live content. In order to enable a legal hold on archives in Search, a legal hold job must first be set up in admin. Note that one legal hold job must be configured for each archive location that is placed under a legal hold. Creating and configuring a legal hold job is done in admin under archiving, then agents, then email archiving. Once you're on the licensing tab, simply click Create on the bottom left corner of the screen. A dialog box will pop up, allowing you to select the source type from the dropdown. Select Exchange. Give the job a name and then click Create. Now, select your newly created legal hold job from the navigation tree on the left under Email Archiving. When the tabs open up in the top middle portion of the screen, select the Criteria tab. In the Source section, you will see options for Mailbox and PST files. Selecting the options under Mailbox will archive messages either in LiveMail, i.e. primary, or in archives, or both. Selecting PST files will archive either regular PST files or journal PST files. If you choose this option, you must choose the device and you must choose to include the PST name. Note, you must also have Outlook 32-bit installed on the node in order to archive PSTs. Under Output Destination, click Change to the right of the Location field. Here, select Archives, which we configured previously. If nothing appears, it means that no locations were configured and that you must do so under Configure Locations. Then click OK. Next, leave Do Not Mark as Archived deselected so that archive tags are placed on messages that are successfully archived. The legal hold job will then skip messages that have been already archived. Also leave the option for Delete Items from Source after archiving unchecked, as this option is not recommended. Now move on to Options. Here you can archive mem headers. We will leave this unselected. You can also exclude draft items from all mailbox folders, including the Recoverable Items folder. Under Indexing, both Enable Real-Time Indexing and Enable Indexing of Attachments are automatically checked. Enable Real-Time Indexing makes it so that messages are searchable as soon as they are archived. Enabling Indexing of Attachments makes attachments searchable once archived. Though these items slow down processing times, they are recommended. In the Retention section, select Apply Retention Flag to apply a flag to messages that have been archived. Next, indicate the number of days that archives should be retained, corresponding to the retention policy established. Here, you can also enter the date field to include date created and delivery date. Now, select a checkbox for Enable Non-Erasable Format, which will prevent critical files from being altered or deleted until a retention date has been reached. Under Legal Hold, select the checkbox to apply a legal hold to the custodian archives included in Search. The next item is address books. Here, you can export personal address books to an XML format. Thereafter, you can select the option to overwrite existing archives to overwrite any matching items in the target location. The last two items include Process Failed Accounts, which is specifically for remediating a failed archive job, thus we will leave this unchecked. Lastly, you can strip attachments from being archived by selecting the checkbox under Attachment Stripping. We will also leave this as is. Once you're done making selections on the Criteria tab, click Save in the bottom left. Now, select the Job Settings tab. First, give a description to the job. Under the Policy section, select the drop-down. Choose the appropriate email archive policy. Let's move on to Job Priority next. You can make a selection from low to high, with normal being the default. If jobs are running concurrently, making a selection here will control which job takes priority in the queue when a job is selected by the job manager. Next, we have Schedule. If you want the job to run regularly, set a schedule. You can set a time, choose daily, weekly, specify a date, or select every X number of minutes. You can also select Disable if you don't intend to set a schedule. You can also choose to run now if you want the job to run immediately. Here, let's enter a time of 6 a.m. Then, choose the option of weekly. Lastly, select Sunday for the day. Now, let's move on to users. Click Select to find users to include in the job. Here, you can list users by filter, user ID filter, list users by type, all users only, or groups only, and also list users of group or list users from SSV file. Here, select the List Users button in the top middle portion of the dialog box. The window on the left populates. Select a few users or groups to include. Once you're done, click the Add button. When the users are moved to the window on the right, they are now included. When you're done, click OK in the bottom of the dialog box. Then click Save to save everything configured in the Job Settings tab. Now let's select the Summary tab to see a summary of all configurations made. The configurations here can be printed. Once reviewed, move on to Log Settings. Let's leave all default log settings as is. However, if you want to edit log settings or receive notifications, you can always edit them here. Since we haven't enabled logging, no reports will show up under the Reports tab. If you're all set, click Save in the bottom left. This concludes the video on how to create and configure a legal hold job.